Hello everybody and welcome to another beginner's guide for X4 Tides of Avarice. Today I want to be talking about a little bit to do with the menus that are important, the most important menus that you're going to need to be able to get yourself moving around X4 pretty quickly and hopefully being able to interact with most things and then picking up from the rest of the game from. Hopefully what I show you today will allow you to play the game in your own style and not follow on from my style, which is the aim of this guide. So if some of the things I tell you are a little bit odd, it is because I want you to learn it in a set way so that you can then develop from that and develop your own playstyle to what you enjoy the most. Because the important thing about this game is to remember this is based around what you want to do and how you play it. So without further ado, let's talk about the map because that's the most important thing in the game. Now, two things you can do with the map. If you press M, it will just bring up on the map wherever you've closed it last. If you're struggling with that, if you press Shift M, it will always orientate to where you are in the system. If I bring it all the way over here, press M, and open again, you see it will literally open where I was. Shift M, back to where I was. There are a few things that you want to know about on this map. As a matter of fact, there's quite a lot of things you want to know about on this map. Let's start from the top down, and then on this side here as well. The first one is the objects list. By default, that's usually the one that will open up first. This is all of the objects that you have in range of your view. If you zoom out, you'll notice that everything has disappeared because I can't actually see these here. If I zoom in, they reappear again. However, the stations do appear because they are always on the map. So the more stations you have, the more you'll be able to see. If I move it over, it also moves over what I can see. There are a few things here that we need to discuss as well. This is all stations and all ships that you can see. You can further reduce that to just stations and their subordinates. We'll talk about subordinates in another video, but that's what they are. Next one is just the ships. If I zoom in a little bit and see if we've got any ships about, we don't have any ships about because they've all flown off. But this would show you ships. You see it shows own ships and other ships. I am on board a ship and I'm currently commanding that ship. So that, therefore, I don't own it. I am that ship currently. You see, there's no commander. If I jump in it, it still doesn't change anything because there's no captain. To change that, if we have a captain, then that would appear on here as well as our own ships. If we zoom all the way in, it doesn't change. All the way out, doesn't change. The final one is deployables. By default, deployables aren't really shown on your heads up. But if you press it here, you'll see any deployables that you place down. We haven't got anything placed down at the moment, so nothing's appearing on there. But it's still worth noting because if you're specifically looking for a nav beacon or something like that, that's how you would see it. They will show as little icons on the map, but they won't show in the all section. Next one reduces it to property owned. Your ship is now here. It is an unassigned ship, so it will appear. Again, you can further break this down to stations and subordinates that you own, fleets that you own. We don't have any fleets. Unassigned ships, which is currently the one I'm in. Ships with inventory. If you've got inventory in any ships that you want to empty into your HQ, very important. You can do it through that. And again, your own deployables, nobody else's. Again, all ships and stations. If you're ever struggling where nothing is, just double check that you've got that selected. Next two are very similar to each other, but have different roles. Mission offers. Mission offers are generally things that you will get offered as you're flying around. So if you go to a station and someone's got a job and you're in range for comms, it will offer you a job. There are guild mission offers and other mission offers. They are slightly different, but they are worth noting. When you start doing guild missions, they will appear at the top, and obviously any other basic missions will be at the bottom. Next one is your mission manager. Ships, stations that you've gone on won't show in here. You know, any missions that you've accepted. However, missions that you have already got working will be here. Sorry, that you haven't accepted. Sorry, so missions that you have accepted will appear here. You can see I've got two missions here, and I'm not going to go into them because I don't want to spoil them in case you want to play it by yourself. But you can see one that is orange is currently my active mission. One that is white, or any others that are white, are not. They are white. Upkeep missions. These will appear all over the time if you've got certain things that you've not been doing. For example, my mission, I can tell you now, it will be assign commander. Or acquire captain, I should say. If you've got other ships that, you know, you've not got captains, or there are things where you've not got drones and stuff like that, which will make more sense as you play through, these upkeep missions will come here. These are for you to just basically keep an eye out what you may need to do to further better your sectors, or your stations, or ships, or whatever it is. The final one is a guidance mission. We have no guidance mission. If I right click here and start guidance, you can see that I am allowed to travel there with this little orange marker. You see now that that guidance mission has appeared, because it allows me to then go back to something like that and change the mission. I don't want to go into that because it will show the actual mission. Let's go to... No, the other one also shows a mission, so I can't do that. But it does allow you to cancel stop guidance. And that'll drop off through guidance mission. There you go. Gone. Next one is information. Information is about what you have selected. Currently I've selected the sector, 2 grand. No information available. Because I was in a different menu for different things. If you select a sector, you need to press the information key here, and it will actually bring you all of the information that you can currently see in that sector. So this little bit here, just a little bit of cutout here, gives us information that we can see 47.735 million population. You can see that its name is 2 grand, its owner is the Taladi company, and the workforce availability bonus, which doesn't mean much to us at the moment, is 1000%. Station workforce is 0. Known stations is 1, because we can only see the 1 station that we're on. We don't know what production it has, and it has 100% sunlight. Again, not much of a great thing that we need to know right now, but it's just worth noting. It also gives you a description of the system. This is cool if you're into lore. It will tell you the lore of the systems, and you can see more of that in the encyclopedia as well. The final one that I want to talk about today is manage plots. That allows you to create your plots, which we'll talk about at a later date, but I just want to show it to you so that you know it's there and you're wondering what it is. This one at the bottom here is due to the beta. I'm currently playing the beta version of the game, so this is for us to allow us to activate certain things so we can show you content a little bit easier as a creator. That will not be in your game. So, that's what these sectors, these bits here are all for. What are all these here at the top? I've skipped over this bit here, which I'll explain in a minute. Options is, as you'd expect, options. You also notice my game hasn't paused. But if I press the escape key, brings up the same menu, but the game is now paused. Worth noting. Next one is player information. I'm going to go into this more in a second. I just want to go through what each one is, and then we'll go back to this one. Next one is your dock interactions, which is your dock menu. Your map, which is what we've just been looking at. Your encyclopedia, which gives you all the information. I'm not going to click onto these because it may include spoilers. And then you've got tutorials and help if you are struggling and you want to have a look into certain things. You can check out the tutorials and help there. You've also got external resources as well, which is pretty awesome. Back to player information. This brings up all about what this is, which is why I've not done it. The name. If you want to change your name, you can change it here. You can actually set your organization name. You can also choose a logo as well. You can import custom logos. I'm not going to talk about that today, but you can do it. Default skins. So your ships can have a default skin color. You can change them over time, but this is what you set as defaults. When you build a ship, it will come out with this skin on. Next one is your net worth. Net worth includes the total value of your ships, the total value of your stations, your inventory, any available cash that you've got, and total cash in station accounts. Again, this is all going to be alien to you. Don't worry about that. We'll get into it as we go through the guide. Again, personnel, alien to you, but you see we've got 1 hired personnel with 3.0.1 stars, and total personal skill is 20. You can see we've got no police authority as well. Next one is factions and relations. Very important. You can see all of your factions and what they offer you. 0 gives you basic modules. It also means that they won't shoot you. It also means that you can dock at their stations. And also they won't destroy your property. -5, you're still pretty safe. You still have access to the modules. You see, you have that until you get below -10. -30, they don't like you, they blow you up. -15, they don't like you, so they won't let you dock. Certain factors are implemented. For example, as a Terrans, you don't have access to Earth, Moon, Mars, Mercury, and Venus, which is the inner systems. As you see there, inner core access. But you still have access to the modules because you're only minus. That actually shouldn't. That says -10. Technically, you do have access to them though, but you can't dock, so you can't buy them. I think that might be a little bit of a bug because they shouldn't be access. Should be like that, yeah. Ooh, I found a bug. So, you don't have access to anything that's under -10, as mentioned earlier. You can see, though, what you need to be able to get everything, and how you get rep and stuff like that we'll cover in another video. +1 is more than enough to keep you above 0, or -9. So just bear that in mind, every little bit does count. Next one is your statistics. So it tells you statistics of your game, if anybody's interested in that. A lot of information there, pretty fun. It also tells you your ranks and stuff like that. Awesome, pretty cool. A lot of people do enjoy that. A lot of people do have bragging rights as well if you're playing games with lots of hours. Awesome. Next one is your inventory. We'll talk about what this inventory is at a later stage. You notice that I'm holding a CETA drive. This is one thing I was talking about that basically grants me, so I can use the CETA drive to do things a little bit quicker, to help all of you to see the content faster than normal. However, normally you wouldn't have that, but it's worth a lot of money. You can sell it if you really want. Next one is modifications. This is modifications, in-game modifications for your ships, not mods for the game. Don't confuse the two. Let's shoot upgrades. We don't have any upgrades because we're poor. We're poor as shit. This is where all your upgrades would be. You'll be able to see them, how many you've got, the base and total price. You have a hand laser, repair laser, and a spacesuit scanner as standard. You can't remove them, you can't sell them. There's no base price or anything like that. You can also drop illegal items in both of them. These little red icons here are illegal items. So if you're holding an illegal spacesuit upgrade or an illegal inventory item, you can drop them all instantly and you're not going to get in trouble. Scans sometimes don't pick them up, so sometimes you're safe. Account management. We don't have any stations, so if you have any stations, the account management will be here. It will show you things like your upkeep costs and your construction costs. We'll see that at a later stage in the game, but I want to point out what it actually is. Personnel management tells you all of your personnel. You'll see we've actually got somebody on our ship as a service crew. If we wanted, we could make them our captain by right-clicking, and it says promote to pilot. Because there's no pilot in the ship, then it will allow it to promote to pilot. If there is already a captain on board, but this person is higher rep, that would say the same thing. You can also go to the ship, and I'll show that at a later stage. You can also promote best person to captain as well. Any messages you require. I'm going to quickly jump off that because it has got things that may be related to the plot that you may not be spoiled. But you can see there it gives you messages that are related to things like your lore and stuff like that, missions, etc, etc. Transaction log tells you any of your transaction amounts. So you'll notice here that we are still flat broke. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed in the 60 minutes. But you can see it will go up and down. And the next one is the log book. You can see here it tells you things like your missions failed, reputation lost, reward for station defenses, reputation gained, any missions that do actually pop up. You see there. We'll go off that a second because that has got missions again. If you click here, it will reduce it down to various things. For example, your general mission, general contents, your mission contents, which will hide any news that you may have, alerts that there may be. News and alerts are things that happen within the sectors. They will be useful later down the line. Upkeeps, if you've got an upkeep, you can see we've done some trades, so that's classed as an upkeep. And tips. Tips are pretty useful. Inventory items are small things you carry with you, whereas cargo is stored in your ships. Press H to open up the help menu. And if you want to request docking permission, use the ship menu or by pressing Shift D. So things do pop up in there that are quite useful. Okay, so that's the player information menu done. We've done the dock interaction already. We've also talked about the map. The only thing that I don't want to go into is the encyclopedia or the tutorial and help menus because they're things that you may want to do yourself. So that in all is the maps. There are other things that you can do with it. To do with things like trading, filters. I'm not going to talk about the filter here because this is all to do with trading, and I'll cover that when we come to the trading menu. The other very important thing, this map, is the legend. The legend tells you everything you need to know. Any little icons. What's that icon? Well, it'll tell you. Scroll down. Person of interest. Black Marketeer. Mission offers. Accepted missions. All of these things pop up. What does an accelerator look like? Well, if you go in, we may find one. There it is. Accelerator. Superhighway. What do they look like on the map? Oh yeah, okay, excellent. Yeah, there's a jump gate connection. So, do not overlook the legend. It's really useful to know. Also tells you what the deposits are like as well. Mineral, gas, mixed. Very useful. Don't overlook it. The legend has helped me out in the past. And sometimes I forget what an icon might be, so I'll have a look at the legend and it'll tell me. There are so many things you can do in the menu. I live in the in the map. I live in the map. I do a lot of my work in the map. Because when you right click, you've got certain things that you can do. Create offers and stuff like that. Loads of things you can do in the map. But I'm not going to go into that because that is relatable when you do things like trading, mining, building stations, all that kind of stuff. Everything that you would do in your map will come apparent as you do things like that. That is it for this episode. As I say, if there's any questions, comments, or anything like that, please let me know in the comments section and I will get back to you. If there's something that you may not understand, something that I may have glossed over that you want more information on, or if you want me to break it down even further, then please let me know. As I say, this is currently the beta, the private beta of Tides of Avarice. I'm doing this so that when the actual Tides of Avarice releases, you've got all the help you may need when it comes to playing the game. So things may slightly change, but most of it's going to be pretty much accurate. So that is just for this episode. Let me know in the comment section if you've got any suggestions, ideas, comments, or anything like that. But until next time, everybody, take care for now, and I shall see you all on the next one. Bye bye for now.